From random steel houses built on the countryside to the leaning water tower, here are 12 strange places in Texas. But first, thanks RPD for leaving us this comment. We're glad you enjoy learning new things we present in our videos. Keep it up with the great comments, guys. Let us know which place you think is the strangest, and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video. Number 12. Paris, Texas. Howdy, y'all. Welcome to Texas, where everything is much bigger. Texas is about the same size as the country of France, but with about half the population, around 22 million, but also plenty of longhorn cows. Texas wanted to be their own country in the past, and now it's just full of people 100% proud to call the second largest US state their home. They also have this landmark in common with the people of France in the same city as the French capital. That's about all Texas and France have in common, but it's still a pretty eye-catching monument for travelers to take a photo with. It's about 70 feet high, and just to give this place a little Texas flair to it, a cowboy hat was placed at the top. Some have called this the dumbest idea in the world, but locals seem to take a liking towards it, so it stayed. Number 11. Forbidden Gardens. Located in Katy, Texas, near San Antonio, you used to have the chance to see another replica of a monument on the other side of the world. They had a bunch of full-scale terracotta army soldiers and a 1:20 scale replica of the Forbidden City in China. This outdoor museum probably isn't something you'd expect to see in Texas, but nonetheless, it opened in 1996 with funding from Irapun. It eventually closed its doors in 2011 to make room for a new highway, and this park wasn't meant to be. Number 10. Futuro House, Texas. There's quite a few strange houses out there in Texas that we'll get to later on in this video, and the Futuro House is certainly one of them. Don't worry, aliens haven't landed on Earth just yet. This flying saucer-style house can be found in a few different parts of the world, but this one we see here is abandoned and located in Rockwall County, Texas. This looks like one of the creepier places to explore in the Lone Star State, and this photo was captured from the interior. It looks as though vandals or disturbed people got in there and wrote some weird messages. These futuristic houses were available in the 1950s, but ended up being a big business failure. The way they were constructed makes them nearly impossible to disassemble, and it's been sitting on the side of the highway for decades now, intriguing travelers. Number 9. Cathedral of Junk, Austin. Europe is well known for their magnificent cathedrals, but Texas is known for just enjoying the simple things in life. And they made this cathedral out of junk, which almost looks like a pile of trash left over from a tornado. Made out of roughly 60 tons of junk, construction on this landmark began in 1989. The architect of this structure, by the name of Hanneman, collected junk, mainly bicycles, when he couldn't help but notice too many people were throwing away useful stuff. This photo here shows things like surfboards, car rims, welcome to Las Vegas, Texas signs, address signs, and all kinds of stuff. This brings the expression of one man's trash is another man's treasure to a whole nother level. He even had a pyramid of televisions and he was ordered to destroy it. Now you can even reserve the Cathedral of Junk for your own wedding. Sounds romantic, right? Number 8. Cowgirl Hall of Fame. Where else would you expect to find the Cowgirl Hall of Fame? Located in Fort Worth, Texas, is this museum, which is dedicated to celebrate the women past and present who helped shape the American West. At this monument, you can maybe begin to understand the fascination Texas has with cowboys and how it's rooted in their history. They don't wear those cowgirl boots for nothing. Women at this time were as tough as nails and knew how to fire a 6-shooter. Women like Calamity Jane and Annie Oakley were well known for keeping up with the guys in whiskey drinking competitions, and you can learn a little bit more about women like them at this museum. Number 7. Leaning Tower of Texas. Not only does Texas have an Eiffel Tower, they also have a Leaning Tower. They're a little bit more sophisticated than you might have thought. The tiny town of Groom, with a population of about 574, has a claim to fame with their Leaning Water Tower. This was originally constructed alongside of Route 66, and many passersby were probably curious how it could lean like this. In Texas, the first thing that probably comes to mind is that a tornado struck this, but that would be wrong. An entrepreneur actually struck it with his bulldozer because he wanted to advertise for his business. It was a success for a while, but his trucking business came to an end and is still a strange place in the West if you're able to spot it. Number 6. Luke. Throughout the ages, mankind has tried his best to communicate with the cosmos looking down, and our next one can simply be enjoyed on Google Maps from an airplane. A giant geoglyph appears with the name of Luke, with each letter stretching thousands of feet. This is found just east of Austin and is written north to south. The Luke Farm in Smithville is considered to be the world's largest signature, and it even turned out to be useful to NASA. Needless to say, the landowner, Jimmy Luke, is a little bit egotistical, but he has no problem getting his name out there. Number 5. Spindletop Boomtown Museum. While many cities in the western US were popping up on the map because of gold or silver discoveries, boom towns in Texas were popping up in the 1900s because of oil. The discovery of oil would prove to be a huge factor of the Texan economy. Spindletop was the first oil boomtown that sprung into use in 1901, and roughly 100,000 barrels of black gold would spew from the well for 9 straight days. This photo here captured a geyser of oil on January 10, 1901, which eventually led to 285 wells in operation here. This museum gives us a glimpse of what life was like during that time and what a boomtown would have looked like. Number 4. Ransom Canyon Steelhouse. When we said there were a few strange houses in Texas, this is certainly the winner. It took 34 years to construct and is made out of steel. The artist by the name of Robert Bruno lived in this house for 8 months before passing away, but he certainly made his mark on the landscape. It sits on the edge of Ransom Canyon, located just west of Lubbock. It's been praised by the artist community as a stunning one-of-a-kind accomplishment. It's made up of 150 tons of steel, and we can imagine it would prove to be fairly sturdy in case of the zombie apocalypse. With 2,200 square feet of space, it currently is being used to exhibit art shows and host private events. Number 3. 6th Floor Museum. You can actually relive one of the most important moments in American history by visiting the Book Depository in Dallas, the rumored place where Lee Harvey Oswald took a shot at JFK. If you're a conspiracy theory addict, this is almost like Mecca for you. You can get a view for yourself of the shot Oswald would have needed to be able to make in order to pull off one of the biggest assassinations of all time. The museum showcases much history about that fateful day, which is open for speculation. Number 2. Traveling Man. Traveling Man is actually an art installation in Dallas that portrays him in 3 different locations. The artist Brad Oldham wanted there to be a short story that the locals could explain about how he was created. The story goes that he was actually a locomotive train that was buried under an elm tree. When someone spilled gin over the tree, he began to emerge from the ground. We see that in this part of the statue called The Awakening, where his head barely sticks out from the ground. Next, he reclines against the side of the street playing guitar. And finally, he's standing tall with a few of his bird companions by his side. This transformer is found in 3 different places in Dallas, so it makes a fun journey to try to find them all. Number 1. Cadillac Ranch. Located near Amarillo, Texas, it's not every day where you'll see cars sticking out of the desert sands buried halfway up. The 2 architects who designed this art installation, Chip Lord and Doug Michaels, were fascinated by all-American Cadillacs, especially the tail fin. In such a conservative state, you'd almost expect these to be used for some kind of target practice. The cars are on private land, so they can do what they want. But the 10 1970s Cadillacs attract quite a bit of attention from tourists along Route 66. The cars have lost quite a bit of their original colors, but no one seems to mind restoring these with a few cans of spray paint.